Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Sarah and I am the mom of an 18-month-old little boy. And today I'm going to be taking you on a tour of my balcony garden. So if you're new here, you won't know that I live in a small space and I have decided I wanted to get into a little bit of gardening and start my own balcony garden because we do have a absolutely beautiful balcony here and really gotten into indoor gardening this last year or so, and I decided to take it outside as the weather has gotten warmer. I live in Canada, in Ontario, Canada, and it's a little bit tough to keep an outdoor garden going all year round, of course, but in the spring through till fall, there's a lot we can do out there. So in previous years, I've done a little bit of an herb garden and a couple of flowers and then basically just tried to keep them alive. This year, I've really started to get into more of the vegetable gardening, and I even tried my hand at starting a bunch of plants from seeds. So some of them made it, some of them didn't, and it's been definitely a huge learning process and a lot of growth personally for myself, pardon the pun, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. With the help of some family and friends and some advice from people who know about plants more than I do, this is what I've come up with. First thing that I want to let you know before I actually show you the balcony is I decided to go all organic. I don't use any pesticides or insecticides or any growing aids that aren't organic. So I learned with the soil to make my own mixture of soil. So what I actually did was I just got the cheapest version of potting soil that I could find from Walmart or Canadian Tire, and basically I just mixed it myself. 1/3 of that, 1/3 perlite, maybe a little less than a third for the perlite, and 1/3 of compost. So I started off using the sea compost, and then secondly I use the manure compost. I'm not great at knowing which compost to use yet, so I just tried these two that were recommended to me and I'll kind of see how they go. So that was my mix that I used to pot everything. It's been a lot of fun having something on the side of, my typical content is motherhood, and parenting and motherhood and Montessori in particular is a huge passion of mine, but it's been a fun thing that doesn't have to do with parenting to learn about. I'm really enjoying the gardening so far, and this year is definitely, because it's my first serious year, going to be a lot of low expectations and making mistakes and learning from them. So the first, I wouldn't call this a mistake, but the first thing that comes to mind is I do have a little bit of an infestation right now, and I'm working on that with a solution of water, vegetable oil, and detergent, and I'm hoping that my carrots get better because right now my carrots are not looking so great, and I grew those guys from seeds, so I'm pretty emotionally attached to them. The other thing, probably the biggest thing that I've been learning on the go is how much space a plant needs, and one thing that's really helped with square foot, the idea of square foot gardening, and how many plants to plant in a square foot has really helped following that model. When I first planted everything is I put a Brussels sprout plant in with a whole bunch of other plants and just this one pot just filled with things, and I very quickly realized that my Brussels sprout plant needed a pot to itself because it got huge and the leaves are huge and dense and it casts a lot of shade, and I'm sure its root system will be pretty intense as well, so I was like, clearly you need your own pot. Same with the kale I had to rehome, the broccoli I had to rehome, so there's been a lot of mixing things around and rehoming things, but I'm learning on the go. It's been a lot of fun. First thing, I have some 2 long pots directly against the wall there where I have some lavender, thyme, and rosemary. Then I have some peas and radishes. I actually made my own pea trellising system as well, which was fun. Then I have some spinach in the front. I have some cilantro in the corner back there, and up top I have some carrots, which aren't doing so great, but I believe in them. Then I have a random little avocado plant that I've made from a pit, and some wildflowers. Up at the top I have some strawberries, some leafy greens in the front, some lettuce, and some kale in the back there. I also have some random pots of things I'm trying to save from indoors. You'll also notice that we have a couple of hummingbird feeders around. We saw one hummingbird on Father's Day when I was out there with Dave, and then we saw another hummingbird another time sort of hanging around. So 2 hummingbird sightings this year so far. In these hanging pots up here, I have some marigold, some chocolate mint, and some sweet William flowers. Way in the back here, I have a whole bunch of different herbs in my stacker pot, and I've also got 4 big pots. They have broccoli in them, and one in the very far back right there, which is a Brussels sprout plant, one I was telling you about. They all were doing well up until this week when they started going yellow, and I think I'm having some watering issues with them. There's a little bit of a pest infestation with some caterpillars, a whole bunch of stuff going on with them, but I'm working on it, and hopefully I can save those guys too. So that's it for the gardening tour. Let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of content. I can make more gardening content for you. In the meantime, it's been nice hanging out with you, and I'll see you in the next video.